Welcome back to the Oh My Days podcast. Ennis is back. He's gone off his little bitch hiatus.
What? No, that was... Nah,
And
we don't need to talk about that.
We're back in the usual spot now. We're back in the secret location in Antarctica. But today we've got a special guest. He's actually from high school. You can introduce him.
I'll introduce this guy. Guys, he was too good for the high school soccer team. All right, this kid, but he's not that good anymore. He's kind of weak, but he's working out a little. It's freaking Milo Fisher.
And that's some bullshit, okay?
Welcome.
I am...
Welcome, Milo.
What's good,
Welcome
Milo?
to the podcast.
I need to expose this man right now.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, first, how do you know us?
Okay, well,
I think we met first. Oso Grande.
Yeah,
we
well,
went to middle school together.
I did but I went to elementary school with Ennis. I've known this kid for way too long.
But did you actually hang out with him?
Well, no. I mean, I mostly saw him.
Did anyone hang out with him?
Yes, actually. Oh, he had a posse of friends. So,
Wait, really? I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, so he had a posse of friends.
The Birds.
They were known as the Birds because
Birds?
You guys think Naruto
Oh my
running
God.
is bad?
Yeah.
Imagine sticking your arms out like a plane and then chasing each other around the field.
Wait,
This was fourth grade.
Wait,
Fourth
not
grade.
even kidding. Yes,
They were called
it
the
was,
Birds.
It was him. I know Leo. And
Leo Bautista?
I don't know.
Remember.
Shout out
Other
Leo.
ones. Oh,
Damn, I didn't know Ennis had a little posse.
Will
back in the
Cassidy
day.
Strand.
They all would follow Ennis, and they would just run around, and they would chase each other, and everyone would just kind of like look at them.
Fourth
you never
grade.
make eye contact
Fourth
with
grade.
them though, because like you don't want to do that. And so they were those kids. I mean, I'm pretty sure
Those kids.
every school has those kids, and that was my man Ennis. He was those kids, and so that's where I first knew him from because everyone knew Ennis, the bird posse kid.
Damn. And then when did you meet me? What, middle school?
Yeah, I met you in middle school. We kind of knew each other. We didn't really hang out. We just kind of mutually knew.
Well, then
of
we
each
had the
other's
huge
existence.
group, and we both knew people.
Yeah, and I mean, it got a lot tighter in high school.
Yeah.
Especially with soccer and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Ennis in high school, or in middle school, I should say, after elementary school, we actually did hang out a little bit because Ennis used to bring a soccer ball to school, which there were basically no soccer balls except for the one that Ennis had, and I basically played soccer my entire life, so
Yeah, we
I was
played
just-
every morning.
I was drawn to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played.
I thought I was
every
doing
morning.
lunch. You guys played
No, so the
before
thing
And
is,
lunch, yeah.
we actually played before in the mornings. Like we'd get to school early, and we'd play on the blacktop, and there was like a little wall, and we'd like set up some water bottles or something, make a little
Yeah.
goal or backpacks, and
okay.
we just basically
Some
played
ratchet soccer.
It was like a little World Cup game or whatever.
Yeah.
We'd take turns, and I was
I still
was
remember.
so much better than
He
Ennis.
was
Like,
way better
Oh,
back
man.
then. I remember he was eating his Pop-Tart and he was just beating me in the
oh my
1v1s.
god, dude, chocolate milk! I would
Chocolate
every
milk,
morning.
yeah.
I'd buy a little chocolate milk for 50 cents, and I'd
the
go
cafeteria
and I would be
food.
holding it. I'd be sipping from it, and I would just be megging Ennis and
Bro,
just
the middle school
scoring goals.
cafeteria used to be fucking sauce.
Dude, that was some good.
And then high
shit.
school cafeteria gets fucking
Yeah, it
shit.
gets all back.
But
Dude.
yeah, speaking of soccer, we can talk about high school soccer for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Freshman year, I
So
guess.
I know you guys have told your side of the story
Yeah,
of
let's
like
get
high school
Milo's
soccer.
story.
reflect on freshman year.
So high school soccer was pretty interesting for me though because it doesn't really reflect my soccer career as a whole. it was actually a pretty poor representation of it. I mean, I was, for starters, grouped on a team with these two guys. I mean, that was
What do
that
you
was
mean?
the first.
I was beast back
That was the
freshman
first. Okay, you were beast because you were just tall.
That's true. Let's
Your
change.
defining soccer trait is height.
Beast.
And well, then we have our manager.
So that was sophomore year.
Yeah, what happened sophomore
But basically, well, I mean, we can start with freshman
you
year.
play
I mean,
sophomore year?
freshman year, I played as much as them. Basically, not more. I mean, we all there. Okay, I'm gonna go off on a side tangent and just expose the entire San Juan Hills
Yes,
soccer program.
let's do this.
For being the crappiest soccer program any high school has ever had. And I think it's getting better now because they got some new coaches. But
They
was it
did
bad.
a clean
They-
sweep
yeah,
by
they got rid
all
of
the
everyone.
coaches.
Just to give you guys an idea, in a soccer game, whether you're familiar with the sport or not, you have 11 people on the field. These teams, so we have like the Frostoff team, the JV team, the varsity team. Each of those teams had like 20 to 30 kids on them, like minimum. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, you could be on a team and not even know all your teammates because like you could like play a different game with new kids every
Especially
single time.
Frostoff.
Dude, it was horrible.
yeah.
And they just wanted money from these kids, and they had like these like voluntary like payments you could make or whatever because like some of the kids like couldn't pay and they couldn't force you to pay it, but they needed money for the program.
With the money thing, that's why Gavin made it every year. They knew where he
Oh
lived.
my
They knew where he lived. The Hunt Club.
You live in Covenant.
But you're in Covenant.
I don't live.
Maybe I do.
that excuse doesn't work for you.
Anyways, that's freshman year. What about sophomore year?
Sophomore year was just as bad. I mean, our team's level of skill kind of went up a little bit, but as our coach said, we weren't going to be the best team, but we were going to be the fittest.
Oh, were you guys the fittest or no?
No. We were dead all the time.
We didn't know how to run drills. All we knew how to do was just run sprints and run laps the entire time, and who knew that doesn't actually work for training a soccer team?
Yeah, that was a bit of a shit show.
Did you get more playing time?
Not really. No, we were the banter bench, as it was brought up.
I talked about a little bit about that. Yeah, the banter bench.
So basically,
Milo was one of the founding members. It was me, you, and Gavin.
Yeah, we'd show up to the games, and basically, we almost would not even put on our soccer shoes because we knew that there was a 5% there was a 5% chance of us actually going in.
Why didn't you guys play? Were you just not good?
Dude, there was so many kids on the team.
It was racism. They chose all the Hispanic guys and played them.
No, it wasn't actually racism. It was the thing is they had the club. What was it, Capo? So they had a club team that basically a lot of our high school coaches also coached this club team, Capo FC or
Capo
whatever.
FC, yeah.
And basically around maybe a third or half of the kids in the soccer program played for that club team, and so
they knew
those kids,
better.
and they knew those kids, and those were the only kids that played basically, and those kids would play most of the game, if not all of the game, with very minimal subs. So
junior year, I made the smart decision to go to Capo FC, get some more playing time.
So, and also but think of how dumb this is. When you compare the concept that our teams have 20 to 30 players on them, and then you have 10 of the 11 players who never get subbed out the game, and you have one sub between. You have these 20 extra players on the bench.
The coach, at one point, the coach doesn't he knows the people he's playing, and he doesn't know most of the other kids. So that's why most of the kids don't get to play, because he just doesn't know them, because there's 30 kids on a fucking team.
Oh, and dude, they were also ridiculous, because then they'd say if you don't show up to practice, you're not playing the games. Well, some of those starters, they would never show up to practice
start
every single game, and then. Also, the coaches sometimes never even showed up. I don't know if you guys covered this before, but we've had coaches who would say, okay, you guys need to be there after school for this practice, and if you're not, you're going to miss a game or whatever. We'd all show up, and then 20, 30 minutes later, we'll get a text. They'll be like, sorry guys, I couldn't make it. I had to do practice is canceled. And we're like, well shit, I just told my parents to come pick me up or whatever.
We're
in 2 hours.
We can't drive.
We can't drive, and we told our parents, oh yeah, so we got soccer practice, so we're going to be there for 2 hours. And they're like, okay, well, we'll arrange our schedule to go pick you up. I'm like, Mom, I need to get picked up. I mean, our coach just decided to cancel practice out of the blue. My parents hated our coach. They were so fed up with this guy.
Okay. Yeah. So, enough with the hate, though. I mean, you gotta admit, it was fun.
We had fun hanging out.
We had fun hanging out with each other. The soccer program itself, the friendships
were what we stayed in soccer for.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of staying in soccer, what did you do junior year?
Oh, so junior year, I actually just bailed on our soccer program. I was fed up. I'm they're like, you can play on varsity or whatever. I'm like, dude, I just don't want to have anything to do with the soccer program. You guys are ridiculous. And so I left, and I just exclusively
you and Ennis, both
played.
You guys. Just
Ennis didn't really have the choice.
That's true. My level kind of made a choice.
No, you know what though? Sophomore year when I tried out, Albert never tried out, but his name showed up on the second tryout list.
I think he signed up, but didn't actually go.
That also has to do with how ghetto their program.
Their program is ghetto.
I do want to bring up. Remember Sam Butler Woodhouse? How he stayed on the program for an entire year without showing up to one.
Yeah, so Sam Butler Woodhouse was technically still on the roster for the entire season after only showing up for one practice in the beginning. Before the season started.
Yeah. They were the whole soccer program was not competent enough to drop this kid who just never showed up to anything, and so he.
As
was
you can tell, Milo loves the Sam.
Did you guys remember
I'm getting heated.
At the end of Frost Off year, Sam hit me up and he said, "Yo, can I pick up my gear?" At the end,
he wanted to pick up the gear because he paid for practice jerseys and everything, and he never picked them up till the end of the year.
Well, he just never showed up.
I know, that was insane. So that's mostly about soccer. Any crazy high school experiences you want to talk about that involve us or not?
Let's see.
Without exposing yourself too badly.
No, I'm trying to think. So what do you guys think about the practice? So I know we just like ran for most of the practices, but like that was some of the other time we got to hang out because Well, the thing is, we also spent a lot of time sitting around during our practices, wondering if our coach was going to show up or not. So that was another one of our bonding times where we kind of all came together at the beginning because we spent so much time just sitting at the school after hours, wondering if our coach is going to come up, and we're all just bonding over how shitty our coach is.
Who was this coach at the time? Can you drop a name or?
I mean, I think you guys already called him Tommy, but
yeah. Tommy, shout out.
Coach
Tommy.
He may have been a good player, but I mean,
he was the San Juan Hills alumni.
Yeah, we needed a coach.
Off season was fun though. Remember we did the 5v5s.
Yeah, off season was fun because it's like 5v5 and 4v4.
You just screw around. Yeah, no, that was fun. I mean, I don't know why they made us run so much. Also during off season,
you lose, you run, basically. So I guess it's just to stay fit. So that's mostly about high school. What about Saddleback right now? What's your opinion on Saddleback?
I actually am very happy with Saddleback.
You're the first
one.
That's
the first one.
No, I don't think Ennis is a good advocate for Saddleback at all.
We've had Ennis, Spencer, and Carter all say no to it. Or not no, but
we're neutral.
They don't enjoy it.
Oh, I'm actually very fond of it because, for my profession, I've always known, pretty much since I was in middle school, that I really wanted to get into computer science and be a computer scientist and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I've been very studious on my own for that and stuff. And I don't really in high school I messed around with some of my classes I didn't really care about and stuff like that. But in college, and I feel like a lot of 4-year universities and stuff, you're more gonna mess around and do stuff. But at Saddleback, it's very to the point, you get your shit done. And I've taken that approach pretty much just with my major, so it suits me really well because that's just my natural approach to it. Is I'm just very down to business, and so Saddleback.
That's fair. That's kind of like Alfonso from what I've heard. Nice. What about the social scene at Saddleback?
You mean non-existent? It's basically everyone's minding their own business, and unless you already know people or whatever. I mean, I've met some people, and it's cool, and we'll hang out and stuff. But at the school, I wouldn't say there's a big social scene. Most of the stuff you'll go get food off campus or hang out off campus, and so I'd say, actually there is stuff to do on campus. They have
what?
They have the clubs. There's different clubs. There's
Are you in any of these clubs?
I was in a video game making club. That one was pretty cool.
Nice.
Russo.
What happened? You're not in it anymore.
Oh no, it's just the.
Oh, it's just. Oh, I guess technically
right
it's summer.
I guess I technically am in it, but it's pretty cool. I was learning how to do some cool stuff that I've been doing up more on my own.
All right, sounds really good. All right, so that's mainly about soccer and high school.
Saddleback.
Yeah.
So we live in Ladera Ranch. If you guys don't know, what's your opinion on Ladera Ranch?
This place sucks.
Get your facts right. I live in San Clemente.
Oh,
you're still a Ladera kid, though.
I used to live in Ladera for basically most of my childhood, and I just recently, past 3 years, moved to San Clemente.
And what do you feel about Ladera? Because me and Ness were talking the other day. We were saying Ladera's dead as fuck.
We live in a bubble.
Yeah, I was gonna say, remember the episode of The Simpsons where they had the big dome over the town?
Yeah.
That's
isn't that also a movie?
Oh, it was the Simpsons movie.
Oh,
It was an episode. But basically, that's kind of what Ladera feels. It's its own enclosed little area where they have their own life, but it's basically a big child-friendly
It's a great place to raise children, but it's just so boring.
Once you're
above the age of 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, basically all there is to do. I mean, there's a ton of parks and cool stuff, and it's really nice. And
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do 10, 15 minutes away, but Ladera itself is
basically the best feature I would say for doing stuff in Ladera is all the parks and the trails and stuff like that.
And, this Cox Sports Park.
Yeah, and
Waterworks,
Spitfire. And all these are easily accessible too. So any of the residents can easily.
And there's the water park.
Yeah, and there's stuff you can all walk to too, so you don't really have to drive. So it's nice in that sense, but in terms of actual entertainment and stuff like that, they don't have a movie theater, they don't have anything like that.
Yeah,
so.
Kaleidoscope is the nearest. Kaleidoscope and the mall is the nearest,
and that's
still
15,
20 minutes.
10, 15.
Yeah,
depending
on traffic, obviously, but. Yeah, I guess.
But do you get bored living here? Because you're in San Clemente.
Well, in San Clemente, I think it's a lot better because there's basically a lot more. And San Clemente is pretty large too because they have
San Clemente is way
different
huge.
areas. Yeah. And so the downtown San Clemente area and stuff, you can walk around and there's all sorts of shops and stores and different things like movie theaters, and it's really cool. And there's just different areas of San Clemente. They have different things, and like the beach is also really nice because I know Ladera, you got to go a little ways to get to the beach.
Well, it's what, like 15 minutes.
It's not bad, but like San Clemente, like
you're literally in the
you
beach.
can literally get like to the beach and still be in San Clemente.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a lot of cool stuff I like, and it's pretty chill in San Clemente. Like,
it's a beach town.
It's a beach town, yeah. It's really chill. It's pretty nice. I mean, the Ladera and San Clemente each have their charms, and I'd say I'm really glad what I did. Like, I grew up in Ladera. Like, Ladera is a great place to grow up, and then like once you're older and your family's, I don't know, don't have like little kids in your family, then you move on. So I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'd say Ladera's a little dead for me.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here, please.
So we have a viewer sent in question that Ennis
from who?
From Eater. Shout out Eater from Creighton. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh my god.
Or actually, sorry, not Eater. Ellie from Chicago. My bad.
Get your shit right.
I know. My bad. So, I'm sorry. I'm an amateur.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? So I actually haven't really thought about this much. So if I had to say, so what defines a sandwich to you?
2 pieces of bread and stuff in between.
So, like, you're a fan of, like, the world sandwich. Like, if you're, like, in opposite countries on the side of the world and you'd put a piece of bread down, like, that
yes, the world sandwich, if that's what you want to call it.
Like, that constitutes as a sandwich then.
Yeah.
I think 2 pieces of bread and shit in the middle.
I think it's a sandwich. Because, like,
it's a sandwich? Why?
Board and Brew, you think of Board and Brew, right? And then you think of the Chick-fil-A sandwich, then the hot dog.
Okay.
What?
But hold on. You know? What if you have a bun that's connected? Is that still a sandwich? Because that's just like
a bun
one piece of
one
bread,
piece of bread. It's not two. So I don't think it's a sandwich because it's 1 piece of bread. Sandwich just gotta have 2 separate pieces of bread.
Who said so?
Me. And what a sandwich is. Yeah. If you look up a sandwich,
no one calls it a sandwich, but it's probably a sandwich.
What is Milo? So Ennis has a no on the sandwich gang. I have yes on sandwich.
No, but it's also
no. He has yes.
Yeah. Wait, but I also think like it's
think?
about how it's made though too, because you don't like when you're doing a sandwich, you almost always like stack it or whatever. I mean, I know at like Subway they would kind of
just put ham and cheese.
But like I mean, but you still like stack the bread and stuff.
What
like
about
that.
this? What about this?
But like when you're thinking about like how you make a hot dog, you like slide the hot dog in.
Yeah, that's true. You don't stack it.
And then when you put the like toppings like mustard, ketchup, and stuff like that, you put it on the top or whatever. And I feel like that's not really what you do with a sandwich. Like
that's true.
You just treat it differently than a sandwich. So can you really consider it a sandwich if you treat it so differently?
No. OMD podcast says no. Hot dogs are not sandwiches.
What do most people say?
I don't know. I think most people say no.
Okay, if you think it's no, like the video. If you think it's yes, dislike the crap out of that.
No. Like the video either way. But damn. All right. So another question from Brendan Dean. Shout out Brendan from Creighton. What's your guys' favorite fast food? Actually, first, what defines fast food? Is fast food just like chain restaurants like McDonald's and shit, or does In-N-Out and like
In-N-Out count?
Subway, and does that shit count as fast food?
If you can wait, like, if you can go to a restaurant and like eat and then be done eating in like less than like half an hour or whatever, like if you can order your food, get it, eat it in less than half an hour.
Basically, if it's not a sit down, then you think?
I mean, even if it's a sit down, but you just eat fast. Like, I mean, like, what about the Habit? Would you count that as like?
I would count that as.
Yeah, come on, that's...
I'd say the Habit's fast food, yeah.
And, I mean, you can sit down there, too, so it's like... I mean, you can sit down at In-N-Out, too. I think if you can just, like, order your food and eat it, like, within a certain time frame, I don't know what that is, but that would be...
Alright, that's fair. So what's your guys' favorite fast food, then, now that we got that out of the way?
Can I take someone to start off?
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Shout out to Taco Bell for being the greatest fast food that has ever existed. Dude, Taco Bell is my go-to place. I just, like, got Grubhub for the first time, and that is life-changing for me, dude.
Did you just get an order?
Dude, the Taco Bell just comes straight to my door, and, like, Jesus. I mean, I have a Taco Bell that's, like, 5 minutes from my house that I'll drive to, but, like, dude.
Why drive 5 minutes when you could have someone else drive?
Wait, why do you like that place?
Why do I like Taco Bell? Dude, okay.
What about Del Taco?
First off,
what's
you
your
get
favorite food
$1.50
from Taco Bell, then?
The bean and cheese burritos or the Doritos Locos tacos.
Yes,
they're so good.
Literally, Doritos Locos and bean and cheese burritos.
And just
are
literally
so fire.
just have them dump in as much fire sauce as possible and just lather everything in that.
I was thinking of something else, but I think Del Taco now ties my number one. Thinking about it,
wait,
like,
Taco Bell?
Del Taco, but
why don't you like Del Taco?
I mean, Del Taco is okay.
No, I meant Taco Bell, not Del Taco.
Del Taco, I will admit, is pretty good, and I will like grab it if I'm in a pinch. But like Taco Bell is my go-to place. Like if you ask me like, what food do you want at any given point, my answer is going to be Taco Bell 99% of the time.
Damn, yeah, that's fair. I guess I'll go next then. Honestly, my favorite is still In-N-Out, bro. In-N-Out is so good.
Of course, this man asked us to go to In-N-Out every single goddamn
day. Bro, it's
day.
literally so good.
But you guys want to go to In-N-Out?
Literally, double doubles, cheese fries, and a vanilla shake. Heaven. And especially going to Nebraska and not having it for like 6 months, I killed for it. I every time I came back, I got it 3 times while on all my vacations.
That's another reason that California is better than Nebraska.
True. And all you people that don't know about In-N-Out and people say it's overrated, piss off. It's amazing. You know how many people tell me In-N-Out's not that good in Nebraska? I'm like, shut up. You've never had it. It's literally so
The
good.
fries suck, though. Come on.
The fries, if you get cheese fries are good. They're not as good. McDonald's is 100% the best fries.
Dude, but the shakes at In-N-Out.
Vanilla shakes.
Dude, shakes are so good.
What about Cane's? You guys don't like Cane's?
Ooh, Cane's is fuck. I'd say Cane's is like number 3 for me. What's your number 1, Ennis?
Probably In-N-Out.
In-N-Out as well?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Ennis doesn't like to go to In-N-Out.
Every time I ask you to go to In-N-Out, you say no.
I've been going a lot recently.
Without me? Okay,
I went Thursday with Gavin, and then the next day I went.
that's true. I didn't go on Thursday. Yeah, but okay, damn. I guess.
Put the beef between a patty.
Oh, yeah. So speaking of the fries, then, what's your favorite place to get fries from then? Because mine is
Buffalo.
fucking McDonald's. McDonald's fries are like soft but also crispy with all the salt.
You know,
it's so good.
You guys are probably gonna hate on me for this, but I can only eat like a finite amount of like actual like potato fries or whatever, like because I kind of get like sick of them fast. Like there's certain foods I can eat just tons of like without end. Like fries are not one of them. But like if you get sweet potato fries at like Islands or whatever, like I love those. Like that is.
So your favorite is sweet potato fries then from Islands?
I'd say.
Or just any sweet potato fries?
I'd say any in general, but Islands has some bangers.
Sweet potato fries, especially curly sweet potato fries. That shit is so good.
Yeah. No.
What about you, Ennis? What's your favorite fries to get?
Probably Buffalo. Honestly.
Buffalo
fries, yeah.
I would only say agree to that slightly because they have the ranch and you can dip it in your wings, so you get the extra.
Dude, I don't think I've ever had ranch.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
stop.
what?
You've never had ranch before?
Maybe like a tiny. No,
you even had like a Cool Ranch Dorito or something.
Come on, you've had ranch before.
I don't think. I think I might have tried a tiny bit.
Wait, that's actually insane. Do you not like it or what?
He has no idea.
I don't know.
You've never had it, bro. All right, next time on the podcast, Ennis is gonna try ranch for the first time.
Dude, I'm gonna throw up.
Why? Ranch is good.
I can't eat that crap.
What do you mean?
Are there any other like major
condiments?
No, like mayonnaise.
Have you eaten ketchup?
Ketchup? Like I don't think so.
You've
never had any condiments?
Wait.
Bro, this man said no ketchup.
No, you had to have ketchup.
Maybe like a tiny bit accidentally slipped on the.
What about mayonnaise? You mentioned mayonnaise.
No.
Oh my god! Wait, this man has never had.
Wait, this man doesn't eat condiments.
You never had mustard?
Wait, we're exposing us live on this podcast. He doesn't eat condiments.
I'm kind of shaky with barbecue sauce as well.
But
barbecue sauce is the best condiment, hands
dude,
down.
I mean, barbecue sauce like makes almost anything better, dude. Chicken nuggets and barbecue sauce.
You know what's the best sauce? Asian Zing.
Asian Zing is terrible. He literally gets Asian Zing at Buffalo Wild Wings all the time.
If you want a buzzkill to go to Buffalo Wild Wings,
literally the waiters deadass laugh at this man when he orders.
He's like, I'll have one medium Asian Zing, and I'm only
just
eating 4 of them.
They
and
just
then
kind of smirk when you say that, and we all laugh at the table.
Messed up.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so those are all the questions we got from the viewers. I can't believe that we just exposed Ennis right now about not eating condiments. Like, that's actually insane.
That is, like, mind-boggling. I've known this man since elementary school, and I've never known that he's
I know,
never
he doesn't
tried.
eat condiments.
You guys have never seen me eat ranch or ketchup or.
Well, no, but I don't
We've
look
seen you
for
go
it.
to In-N-Out, though. How do you get no condiments on your
You get
burger?
no sauce?
No sauce. No spread. Screw the spread at In-N-Out.
What? The spread is so good.
Oh my god.
This is insane. We need to change this man's life right here.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, so we're wrapping it up a little bit. Anything you want to plug or anything you want to say about yourself
let's
before we leave?
I mean...
What are you up to now?
I do want to just make the statement that I know you guys have talked up your soccer game, but I am like another tier above these kids.
Here we go.
Here's Preston. Here's
okay.
me,
So
and Milo's maybe
Wait,
like half
Hold
a
on.
finger
I
above me.
have a story to tell. Let's talk about club teams, and this is like recently.
Yes,
we'll talk about
yes,
like last
yes.
2 years
You
ago.
mean recently?
So like last 2 years.
2
or so.
to 3
No, 2 years. Okay, so
Fine.
I have been like between club teams. Yeah, so
I endorse this
I've
story.
been between club teams
What
a bit,
teams were
and
you
so
on?
I found this team CFA. They're in San Clemente. It's much nicer because I used to play on a team up in Irvine, and I had to drive half an hour for practices there and back, and that was horrible.
Which team?
Anyway, I joined this
CFA.
team CFA in San Clemente, and
But the Irvine.
highly recommend them. Shout out to CFA, super great club. Anyway, I've been playing there, and so I was going to school with Ennis, and so of course we talk about soccer, and so I was telling him about this new club I was on.
No, I know where this is going.
Ennis has been telling me about these cool clubs he's going on. I'm researching his clubs there. So anyway, Ennis gets
Wait,
in his head that
before
he's gonna
you
come
go
and try
on, this
out.
was after Nomads fell apart. That was the best club team I've ever been on. We beat Preston. Me and Minchin scored.
Rough end of
This
the
is
game.
the rough end of the
this
game.
is child's play, guys. So anyway, Ennis decides to come try out for my team. So I'll let you know. So,
Oh my
for the
God,
record,
no.
when I joined CFA, I went to one practice, and after that practice, I was offered a spot on the team. So
Damn.
then
Man's
Ennis
about to
comes,
get
and
ruined.
he practiced with us. How many times did he come to practice with us?
guys,
It was like the better part of a week. Ennis was
Yeah.
coming to our team practices or whatever, and then he never got offered a spot on the team. And then one day at school, Ennis comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, so I don't think I'm going to end up going with CFA after all." I'm like, "Why? What happened? You've been practicing with us this whole week." And
This was 2 years ago, though. This was senior year of high school.
This was senior year, the most recent time we all played soccer.
I'm different now. I swear, guys.
He's no
if you
longer
watch
good
me play
anymore.
now, I'm a different person.
Ignore this man.
Yeah. So anyway, this man low key or tried to keep it low key, but I made sure that did. He did not make the team at all, and sad
That's
boy
rough.
Ennis hours. But he went and found some okay clubs.
Yeah, I found an okay club, LA Galaxy.
But I mean, my club team. I mean, I went on and I played CFA. Basically, actually, I even played my freshman year of college because I was young enough to play another year.
Yeah. We're all young.
Yeah, and so I played an extra year, and there's a great team. And I mean, a lot of my teammates all went off to go play in college and stuff like that. They're D1, D2 schools and stuff like that. So we had some really good players on our team. I just wasn't really interested in getting looked at by any of those teams, so I never contacted anyone. But
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
So do you want to plug any of your social media or anything? Want to plug anything?
This kid isn't on social
Yeah, he's
media.
not even on
Yeah, I
social
don't
media.
really like social media. I mean, I'll talk to people in person. I don't like sending blank snaps that just say streaks on them.
Okay.
Every
This
single
kid.
day.
Damn. All right. Well, that was a really fun podcast, Milo. Thanks for coming on. We had a blast. Tell us if you want Ennis to, or not Ennis. Sorry, I'm fucking. Tell us if you want Milo to come on again.
And comment if you want to kick Ennis out of the
Yeah, comment if you want to kick it. Like if you
until
want
he
Milo
tries
to
a
stay.
condiment.
Yeah, until he tries a condiment. But hope you guys are enjoying this. We're back to the old layout. Drop a like, subscribe. We're up to what, 32 subs now, I
Yeah,
think?
guys,
We're
watch the
low-key
video with
popping.
Carter. We need more views on that video.
You don't have to. Let's be honest, guys. If you don't like it, you don't like
You
it.
don't like
But
it,
like,
yeah.
we're trying to see which videos like the most. So far, our ones that get the most views are the ones where it's like 3 of us here. So we'll probably keep those up if they keep getting like the most views and shit. So, seems there anything
Sounds
else
good.
you guys want to add?
That's it.
All right. Well, peace out.